You're listening to the Claret and Blue podcast on the Pass the Gravy podcast network.
Damn, Daniel.
And here we go.
And we are live. We'll do it live. Welcome everyone to Claret and Blue, probably the only podcast on the internet dedicated to the New York Football Giants and the 2023 UEFA Europa Conference League champions, West Ham United. That's right, football and football balls. Before everyone says I'm Mike Fish, and I'm joined as always by Mr. Alex Middleton. Alex, just how are you doing? You feeling good? You got a skip in your step.
I'm doing just swell, buddy. I like that intro. I like the 2023 UEFA Conference League champions, West Ham European champions. Is that I forgot how many of those has Tottenham won in like the last decade?
They have won none.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's more than them.
Yeah.
So pretty stoked. It feels like it's been a long time. It feels like, I know it has, like it's been almost a full week since it happened, but it doesn't feel like it's been a long time. It feels like it's been a long time from the pod, but not since we won, because every day that's just like all my feed is, and I love it.
How many times have you watched Jared Bowen's goal?
Oh, I don't even know, man. I can't.
What have you watched more of?
100 at least.
What have you watched more of, the goal or the clip of Declan Rice lifting the trophy and the confetti going off in the background?
The goal, definitely. I've watched the trophy. I've watched a lot of the celebration stuff when he's like, West Ham are fucking massive. Sorry. And then he said it again, and it was like, I watched BBC that a lot too.
Oh, once again, I have to apologize for Declan Rice's language there.
The little crying West Ham kid, I watched that. The crying old guy that was doing a live stream when it happened, watched that.
Oh, Russie.
I saw, was it Nolsey? Nolsey was partying in Prague.
I haven't seen a video of Nolsey.
But yeah, Jared Bowen, without a doubt, just because, like, did you see the Titanic one where it's got the music?
Oh, no, I haven't seen that either.
That was pretty great when he scored. I also, as I was sitting down, I realized that, remember we had put goal predictions? I don't know if you wrote down yours.
Oh, I did.
We nailed it, buddy. Nailed it. I mean, we said other things too, but we said to the two goal scorers, so nailed it. Count that.
Bowen and Benrahma, yeah. We nailed that.
So 100% of the goal scorers we said. We did say 4 names, but whatever.
I did also predict Paqueta would get a goal, but I think what he did was as good as a goal, because that was a pretty goddamn sweet assist.
Through ball I've ever seen in my life.
You could even, I don't know if you could, I'm assuming because you watched it again, but the commentator, even he was like, almost like, ooh, that was a good ball.
Because it was like, it was funny because like, it looked like it was offside, because like there's no fucking way Bowen's that open. And I was like, I didn't even stand up right away. I was kind of just like, wait. But Bowen was so onside that like, it was just like, how did he get it through that like that? Like, there's no way that should have happened, which is why all the Fiorentina players were just like, nope. It's offside. Like, well, you got to stop him first. You can't just let him run and do all that. But
because it happened so quickly, like, because Souček tried to do something, he kind of like pirouetted.
That was one thing I was going to bring up. Like, you don't like really pay attention to it as much, but the like Souček attempted flip kick or whatever it was, where he's just like, oh, I don't know. And then if you watch it back, since I've seen it so many times, if you slow it down, you can just see the panic in Souček's eyes, because he has no idea where it went. He has no idea where the ball went, and then he just kind of sees he sees Bowen gone, but when you see like Suchek does that like flip thing, doesn't make it like a connection with it really, or he hits it, it ricochets and ends up going to Paqueta, and then Suchek's face is just looking behind him. He has no clue, and like the look of panic at that time, when you just watch it back, knowing the outcome, you're like, man, he was freaking out for a second there. But that was awesome. The fact that it was in the 90th minute, the fact that it went down the way it did, it was just awesome.
By the way, no YouTube today. Fuck. Yeah,
we're losing one per show now. Good thing it's the season finale.
I fucked it up. So I meant to put it on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick because I've worked out Kick, so I thought I'd give that a stream, give that a try, give the old college try, see if anyone is on Kick. And yeah, I must have put Facebook instead of YouTube. Whoopsie daisy, that's kind of fucking annoying because now I'm gonna have to download the video version of this and upload it to YouTube later.
Great.
Oh well.
Just we didn't want.
Because I can't.
Chores. Hey, but you know what?
I could. No, I'm not gonna do it halfway now. Whatever. Anyway, let's talk about positive things. We don't talk about negative things.
Yeah, well, this is a positive podcast. Is this? I mean, I feel like the most positive podcast we had previously, at least, was the Giants over the Vikings. Like us beating the Vikings in the playoffs, getting a playoff win. We were fucking losing our shit. Excited, but was this more exciting?
I want to say, let me, because I mean, definitely this is the happiest. Don't get me wrong.
If not one, it's definitely one.
But I want to say, when was it? So keep going back. I think one of the happiest was when we were about to go live. And like 10 minutes before, either Joe Judge got fired or Dave Gettleman got fired. Do you remember that day?
Oh, that was okay. Yeah, that was a good one. I think it was Joe Judge got fired because we like found that out almost. But yeah, because we were like, oh shit, did you just see that? And we like delayed it, and then I think we couldn't broadcast it on Facebook the next week because we didn't start on time. Did we get penalized for it?
Yes, we did. And then we had Stephanie on. And we was like, boom, we booked a Giants guest. And I'm sure her phone was like popping off for people wanting to get her on the podcast to talk about. And we was like, nope, we already got her.
We got it locked down.
But yeah, that was a pretty sweet day.
Yeah. But this is it. I mean, this was awesome, dude. It was really funny. Just like seeing so many people like, and you kind of heard like, I'm new to West Ham, like respectively. I think it's been 5 years, but like you, long-term West Ham fan your whole life. What was that like for you? I mean, I kind of talked to you, but talk about that for a little bit because it was cool being at the bar where everybody had their story about how they came over, how long they had been West Ham, how they had gone to all the games as a kid. It was cool just kind of seeing the perspective of that.
So I there's a little bit of a story. So I went to a bar, Smithfield Hall. Shout out to Smithfield Hall, New York Hammers, and so I was supposed to meet a friend of mine whose name is Tom, but unfortunately he was running late. He's not a West Ham fan. He's not a football fan. He was just coming along for enjoy the atmosphere. So I wasn't worried that he was running late. But then, so I get there and I'm wearing the 1995 100th commemorative shirt that I purchased because West Ham have like official stores in like, I don't know how many, it was like 3 or so locations in key like West Ham areas. So obviously they have the stadium store, and then they have one in Lakeside in my hometown, whereas in Romford in Essex, and then Basildon in Essex. So Essex is very West Ham. This shirt from the store in Basildon on my 10th birthday. So I'm wearing this shirt. Luckily, I loved very baggy clothes back then, so it still fit, which is awesome. So I'm getting it, and then suddenly, so I stand there, standing room only, obviously, but I get there relatively early, so there's still nice space around me. And then suddenly, this guy just walks in on his own, and of all the places he could have chosen to stand, literally stands in front of me.
Oh,
and so I'm like, oh, fuck's sake, like, I could still see the TV, but still, I was like, what the fuck? So
you haven't worked to see the TV. That's a pain in the ass.
So I passive aggressively, like, tap him on the shoulder and go, "Oh, excuse me," and I go to the bar to get a drink, and then I again passively aggressively go, "Excuse me," and I put myself back right behind him as if to make it obvious to say, "You stood right in front of me, pal." And so when he turns around, like kind of shuffles, and there he's standing next to me. It was like all good, and I was chatting away to him, and his name was Tom. So the guy I was supposed to meet was Tom, but he was late, so I ended up still standing next to a guy called Tom.
So it's okay, going according to plan.
And he was from Basildon, where I got the shirt that I was wearing. So I was like, "Oh, it's
meant to be."
It was meant to be. And so we was chatting. He's the same age as me, so we was chatting away, similar passion. And then my experience, the penalty when we got there, I couldn't watch the penalty. I turned my back to the screen until I heard the reaction, and then I was happy. And then a minute later, they scored, and it was like a gut punch. I was like, "Oh,
that was the most West Ham.
That was
thing
my
ever,
joy,
was it not?
for the day?" And I was like, "We're losing." I was like,
"Of course, yeah." No, I was like, "We're gonna lose. We're gonna lose in penalties." I kept saying, "We're gonna lose in penalties," and it was like I had like a weird belief, but like I was just like, "You have to be negative as fuck right now. I can't seem confident because like, we're gonna lose the penalties. We're fucking losing penalties." And then Bowen.
Yeah,
happened,
I was like, "This is my what's the word? Not fate." Not fate. What's the
destiny?
Not when good things happen to good
prophecy.
People. That thing.
Karma.
There we go. I was like, this is my karma because I was being too positive all day. So this is
it's like you shouldn't have believed. Yeah,
I shouldn't have got so
bubbles.
Upbeat.
You just gotta keep telling yourself bubbles. I always do that. I'm like, Bubbles says it. It's like, what did I expect, dude?
And then when Bowen went through, I was like losing my shit, and he scored. But then with the whole VAR stuff,
and you're like, of course they're calling it back. They're gonna call it back, aren't they? And you're watching it. You're like, there's no way they can call it back. There's no chance. He's not even close to offsides.
No, yeah.
Like, what happened? You're looking at everybody else too.
No, I just paused, and then when they showed the replay, I was like, "Oh, he's onside!"
He's onside.
I was going nuts. And then, when the full-time whistle went, I genuinely had this weird moment where even though I was like, there's like 400 people plus in this bar, it was like there were so many people in there at 5 o'clock in the afternoon that due to the fire code violations, they had to literally start turning people away. People were allowed in the bar. But then I had this moment of where it's like almost like a spiritual moment where I was like, I was aware there was people around me, but I was like on my own, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I just kind of had this weird, and then the waterworks started coming down, and I was like, "Fuck!" And it was like, "Oh my, this is embarrassing. Why the fuck am I crying?" And I just turned to my new friend Tom, and he looked at me and said, "I know," and we hugged. It was a beautiful moment.
Well, but for people like you and for the people that had not seen it since the 80 FA Cup, where it was a major trophy, it was like that's like West Ham is. It sucks being a West Ham fan for so much of the time, but like we're not bandwagon bitches. We're not Man U. We're not Chelsea. We're not City. You don't just get championships every year. So this is a huge fucking deal to finally see your team do it and to do it in Europe of all places. Like I mean, I would have been stoked if it was the FA Cup, but like this is a lot cooler to me than the FA Cup because it's Europe. And I know that's a new trophy. There's only 3 of them that they do every year, and we're a third of them.
And we're going down in history. And
the way with Declan, the way like the everything we could have had, like I hope it doesn't happen. And I mean, I don't really expect Declan to be back, but I hope he's back. I love Declan Rice, obviously, but like everything that we were like thinking about with Noble at one point. Remember last year we were like, fucking, he could walk off a Europa League champion. He finally gets to go to Europe. He finally gets this. It's like he's not retiring, but this would be Declan Rice's like swan song at West Ham would be just fucking a movie. It would have been better for Noble. A better movie.
Apparently Rod is a West Ham fan because he was blowing bubbles.
Did blow bubbles.
Was he just randomly blowing bubbles, or did he know
he was
why?
Blowing bubbles with his daughter had bubbles, and he was also blowing bubbles.
You should get me a shirt.
I don't think he'd wear it, but I'll get him a shirt maybe.
Why wouldn't he wear it?
I don't know if he would wear a soccer jersey.
Maybe I could. Between in the next few months, I'll design some kind of podcast merchandise that's like rock and roll, but it's obviously a Western.
It's super rock and roll.
That could be like part of your.
Strip off the Iron Maiden ones that they do.
That could be that's on the store, right? The West Ham Iron Maiden shirt. That could be your Christmas gift.
Oh, by the way,
speaking of West Ham that you buy people,
West Ham.
Apparently.
Speaking of West Ham store, though, have you dropped any money or pounds? I dropped some pounds at the West Ham store. It's all pre-order, and I have no idea when it's gonna ever get here. But I spent like about $100 on just like Conference League champions shit. I was just like, oh, I want this now.
Oh, I didn't. But are they any good?
No, it doesn't even say champions. It says like winners. But I was like, I still want a shirt. I got the little flag, that they hand out to the captains. They exchange. I was just like, I kind of want that for the studio just to have it. That'd be kind of a cool thing to have, like as a little knickknack.
Jesus Christ. Some of this merchandise.
The hats are terrible. Where it just says winners. It's like, come on.
Someone spent 5 minutes because it's literally is a mug where it's just a black mug with the West Ham logo on it, and it just has winners written underneath it.
I don't like that it wasn't champions. It bothers me. I understand that the Champions League it could be
element to it, but
yeah. I still bought some shit though. I still got a shirt, and I think I got a scarf and the little banner thing. So I was like,
what I don't like,
that doesn't happen a lot. I got the pens. They also have pens, ballpoint pens.
Oh, you got a pen? Oh, I
got a couple pens, dude. I loaded up on pens. I don't give a fuck if I have a West Ham winners pen.
I do see the. Oh my god, the bucket hat. Jesus Christ!
I kind of want the bucket hat too. After seeing all of them wearing it at the parade, that was cool. But it was more of just a West Ham bucket hat.
The pennant, as they call it, pretty good.
Is that with the little banner?
Yeah. I can see the pens. This is pretty good. What I don't like is that I'm trying to find the actual price of it because I know it's very cheeky.
In pounds.
It's very cheeky of West Ham to do this. But they did.
It's like £100 almost.
Where is it? It's no, it's oh my god. Because they did a discount on the white and orange shirt.
Uh-huh.
Which was something like stupid, like a 60% discount. But then, here we go. This is so for the third. Oh no, maybe they've sold it out. But they like a 60% discount on it. So the shirt itself was like, I don't know, maybe like £30. But then they were selling the exact same shirt, but just adding the Europa Conference League final, a little bit on it, and it was like £80. It's like, that's a bit.
I kind of want that though. Shit,
I would definitely have it, but if it wasn't that much, I was like, well, I could just get a Sharpie.
Dude, glory. We have glory. Although I was thinking somebody was telling me at the bar that we get a patch on our thing for Europa League. Does that play? Because if we get a patch, then I'm going to buy that next year.
Roma, let's see, because Roma obviously won it last year, 2022, 23.
Oh, you're talking just where it just has the type on it, not
it just says West Ham versus Fiorentina.
Europa. Yeah, I mean, I didn't play in that. That makes sense if it's like a signed or game worn jersey, but I'm not gonna just get that jersey.
Yeah, I'm trying to look on the.
So because of that, I'm out.
Trying to look on the Roma's web, but I don't have any. But today, what could I do? Europa League final. And I'll just do image searches. Let's see if I can. Yeah, if we get something to add on to it, that'd be pretty, like a star to put above our badge. That'd be pretty sweet.
That'd be sick. But just like like the Champions League one does it. Does just Europa League champion get it? And I don't know.
I don't know. That's going to be way more research than I should do live.
Yeah,
on
this
air.
is
But
this is just called Alex and Mike Shop. That's what this segment is called. Alex and Mike look at the store.
It would be good if we could share the screen, but whatever. But yeah, the exciting thing is, we're going to be in Europa League next year. I think it's going to be a lot tougher than it was the year we was in it, because Liverpool are in it now, and you have to say they're probably favourites to win that one. But
So we'll play them in the final, right? All English final. I don't hate that.
But that being said, the year we were in it, Barcelona were favourites, and they went out, I think, in the quarterfinals. So,
what you're also forgetting, Mike, is that West Ham is fucking massive.
They are fucking massive.
We are massive, and we are officially massive because we just won a trophy, proving that, a non-Betway trophy.
And I think people will knock because it's the third tier of the European competitions, but you know what?
Suck a dick to those people.
One, I love it, because they would, if like for example, like especially, not even, you know what, even Arsenal fans. I was Tottenham fans did it, but even Arsenal fans were like, yes, don't get me wrong, you had a great season, but wow, you was really close runner-up. Well done. That's all you did. They haven't won a European trophy in God knows how long. Tottenham
not this year.
The whole the team won that. Fuck you. No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, well, we also are the only Premier League team to ever win a Conference League trophy as of right now. So nobody can talk shit because, like, oh, City, cool, you got a Champions League finally. Well, you don't have is Conference League, which is my personal favorite of the three, actually, if we're power ranking.
Facts don't lie. But I love the fact that it's the longest. It's the European competition with the longest name, so it just sounds more epic when you're announcing it. We are the UEFA Europa Conference League champions,
and it kind of gets people confused with or Champions League. So sometimes people think you might have won the Champions League if it just has the UECL. It's like, oh, UEFA Europa Champions League. You're like, yep, that's probably what it is.
Yep, sure, we won that. Why not?
I'll take that. I think City's really just scared. They're too scared to try and win the Conference League trophy because they know that's where the men play.
It's where the massive teams win.
That's where all the massive teams play. That was fucking awesome, man. I wish I've thought about that game. Like, I love the Giants. The Giants went 1-1, and West Ham is a much newer team to me than all of my teams, really. But like I've loved West Ham as of late, like the last 3 years specifically. But I've thought about that game every single day. Every single day, I've thought about that game.
It's one of those things. It's like when you look back on the videos, you're like, "Oh, that did happen. That did happen."
Right? Like I woke up and was like, "That wasn't a dream. We really did that." I can feel the hangover from it.
Speaking of waking up the next, again, we're a positive podcast, we're keeping this positive. But real quick, I just have to say, David Sullivan is one of, if not the biggest twat ever. Like, seriously, can that guy not, he owns West Ham. The fact that people are talking about West Ham and the headlines are about West Ham is a good thing. But no, he cannot let it rest for 24 hours. He has to have his name in the headlines by literally, 12 hours after Declan Rice lifts the trophy. We all know he's probably going to go somewhere else. We all know he's probably going to be sold this summer. But he has to go on the radio to announce he was selling Declan Rice this summer. Let's go. What? Why? Why did you have to do that? Just let us enjoy this moment without you having to be like, oh, can everyone talk about me, please?
Yeah, that was kind of cunty. That was kind of cunty.
Because I watch a lot of Talk Sport Radio because it's the easiest one to get to. It's like a sports radio station over in the UK, and they do a lot of their stuff live on YouTube. And so I was watching them, and even them, like the hosts who are like, one's like a Spurs fan, one's an Arsenal fan, and even they were like, why did he do that? That's so weird.
It is weird.
But yeah, fuck that guy. So I really like because the season's been going because of the Europa League success, the Europa Conference League success.
Mm-hmm.
No one's really been talking about him. Everyone's been leaving him alone because generally people's opinions of him are pretty negative, shall we say.
Yeah. No, they
So the
definitely.
fact that no one's talking about him is a good thing. Why? Just let it lie, Dave. Let it lie. Just enjoy the extra money you're going to get from being in the Europa League next year. And it's like, no, what an idiot. What an idiot. And even to put it out there, like, oh, yeah, well, we offered him 200,000 a week. And he even did the maths. Oh, by not signing that contract, he got 10 million more this year. But what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely poor timing, but it's like when you get asked about shit like that, it's like I don't know what you should say.
No, he could easily PR the hell out of that and just be like, look, that's something we'll discuss later in this week. But today, it's all about we're just talking about the success. Blah blah blah. He could have
Yeah.
easily got out
Okay,
of
I
that.
could see that.
Like even because Declan Rice did that, he was fantastic. Where he was like, as I don't know what's happening, but whatever. But as far as I'm aware, right now, I'm just enjoying this. End of. Boom. He didn't stoke the flames. Fucking hate. But the positives are what's funny. I don't know if you saw my tweet earlier. It's hilarious because generally, because obviously this West Ham are going to step for years now. And every single time it's like, oh, Declan Rice, you're gonna have to pay probably 100 million to get him. And all the fans were like, well, he's not worth 100 million. Why is he worth 100 million? Oh, it's just because in English he's only worth like 40 million. Blah blah blah, blah. Like, complaining about his value, and then suddenly the news comes out today, or someone in the know reports, oh well, yeah, it looks like the deal is going to be 9 million in front with 10 million pounds. So 100 million. Fans like, yeah, we've signed a legend. Now he's signing. He's a legend. But before he was overhyped and like, shut the fuck. But you know what? I think we'll be fine without him. We'll survive, and
we got Flynn down.
100 million extra in the pocket. Lovely day.
And Flynn.
Lovely day. Sorry, this came through a little while ago. Mike, do you have a West Ham tattoo? Also, when is Alex getting a West Ham tattoo? I do not currently have a West Ham tattoo, but I do have one in the works. Well, the design is in my brain, but I've just got to find someone that's going to be able to do it. I'm gonna, because I don't like in your face tattoos like that. Like, no offense to anyone who's got it. But it's like the West Ham crest, the West Ham badge. I'm not going to get that because that's just. But so what I'm going to get is the old classic pin-up girl from like the old 40s and 50s, and have her like holding two hammers crossed like West Ham, like boom. That'd be like my West Ham tattoo.
That'd be cool.
What about have you ever thought about doing it?
I mean, I've thought about it. Probably be down the road. I'd probably just do the hammers if I did do it.
Well, I think it would go really well because obviously you're very well known for your tattoos.
Yeah, everybody knows about all my tattoos, my sleeves.
Like if you just got one, like maybe it's at the bottom of your wrist, like there, just a tiny little like basic, like the almost like the sticker you have in the background, like just a little little crossed hammers, like boom, little one there, job done.
They'd know.
Boom. Yeah, do you reckon if I did a T-shirt with the Canadian flag with the hammers on it, do you reckon Rod would wear that?
That would help his chances at least.
He is a very proud Canadian.
He's a very proud Canadian, yeah.
But yeah. What else? So what was your experience? Because I saw obviously no one, because I was on my own, so I didn't really take any videos because that'd be weird. I always thought, and plus every time there was kind of an opportunity where I was like, oh, this would be a really cool video to take. As I looked up, there was like 30 people with their phones out, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to be.
Yeah, videos of other people's videos. Yeah. I don't know. It was cool. There was a bunch of like people looked up the West Ham bar in Houston, and I guess we are a West Ham group that goes to a certain bar. But there was some guys that came up from further away that just wanted to watch it with groups of West Ham people, and that was cool. And just kind of everybody in the bar was just rooting for him in general. So that was fun to be a part of. And when they scored, it was I was really glad that like I was not just at home after that had happened, because it was awesome. And we just kind of drank and drank and drank and drank more. Then I called you, and then it was awesome. It was a lot of fun. And best West Ham game I've been to for sure.
Yeah, I don't know whether it was like where it like cancelled each other out, because obviously I was a little bit inebriated when we spoke on FaceTime, but I was like, how he didn't seem that drunk. But then the next day when I saw that video of you singing West Ham is massive, I was like, whoa.
Well, that was later.
Toasty.
That was later after I had gotten off the phone with you, because then we did some shots and then we just kind of hung out for like another hour or two. But like during the game, I was pounding beers, but I was just in that like nervousness state where it's like, even if you are kind of drunk, you're just a drunk, nervous mess where you're just like, I don't know about this. That was most of the state of the game for me.
I was like, thankfully, so the bartender at this bar was exceedingly good, but a little bit too good. And what I'll say with that, because it was very busy.
Right.
So at one point, I was like, okay, hey, one of the beers might go not ice cold as nice to be, but whatever. Do you know what? Just to make it easier, I might just buy 2 at a time, and then that way I don't have to keep going back to the bar. So when I went to the bar with the intention of buying 2 beers, I didn't even have to ask. He noticed me at the bar, and he just kind of swang by and dropped the beer and walked off. I was like, that's really good.
More, yeah.
It's really impressive, but now I feel awkward. I don't want to have. Oh, actually, could I? So I just walked away with my 1 beer. But he was very good, very impressive.
But at least you got him quick.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. And then, unfortunately, no offense to anyone who doesn't drink. I guess I'm proud of you. But the guy Tom, who I was with, when I went after we won, I was like, I'm going to get 1 more beer to watch us lift the trophy, and I'm going to have to leave. I was like, let me get you a drink, because he wasn't smoking, so he was like, every time I wanted to go for a cigarette, he guarded my beer, because obviously I was on my own. So I was like, can you guard my beer?
Right.
So I can go. So I was like, let me buy you a beer. And he goes, I don't drink. I was like, can I get you any? Oh, you can get me a Sprite. I was like, I don't want to
ask you for a Sprite. Yeah. It's like a Sprite's only good if you, I guess if you're ordering something, and can I get a Sprite for my friend?
That's why, because I don't want him to think that
I'm not. Yeah, because before I've gotten like a water, and it's like I just put money in the tip thing as I'm like asking for it, because like if you're not drinking or whatever, then like you just kind of, can I just get a water, or like, hey, can I get somebody else's beers? And then it's always awkward to be like, can you just do something for free real quick, even though it's like it's gonna take 2 seconds. Like you have a gun right there that you're gonna go here. Like, it wasn't a lot to ask, but it does feel awkward.
So what? Because again, I was a little bit tipsy. So I was like, how am I gonna do this without him? Okay. So I acted out a scene that the guy wasn't paying any attention. But so I went to the bar, and as he was dropping my beer, I was like, no one was talking to me, and I went, what? Oh, yeah. Can I get Sprite to him?
You did the turn.
I did that. I played it out.
Oh, that's awesome. That'd been funny if he was like, who are you talking to? I think that guy's invisible.
He's over there. He just moved.
Isn't it weird? Those like weird little like social insecurities that like everybody has. Like I always feel like, I'm sure in New York you experience it more, where maybe you walk in the wrong way, and then you gotta like turn the other way. But it's like you always have to like somehow, like so many people feel like you gotta make like going the wrong, like I don't need to announce to the world that I'm going the wrong way. I could just about face and go back. But it's like people feel like whoops. And like, in classes, when you'd be stuck in you'd go to the wrong class the first day. Like, oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong class. You just get up and leave. You could just get up and leave.
No, I have. If I have to do that, and I realize I'm walking the wrong way, I have two go-to moves. One is just to cross the street and then walk back the other way, so it's not obvious. Or I'll stop, get my phone out,
look like you saw something that changed.
Like say, "Oh fuck," and then I'm very good at pretending that people are talking to me.
I'll do that sometimes at the grocery store. Like if you're stuck looking for something that you like, if you're like, all right, I came here to look for this one thing and I can't find it, I'll be like, look at my phone real fast. So it looks like I'm looking for directions from somebody. Like somebody sent me a picture of whatever it is I'm looking for. Not like I'm just trying to find this very specific kind of chip or whatever it is. Especially there's like people around you, and it's like in New York, I'm sure like there's always people, and even in Jersey, I'm sure there's just people around you at all times. And so it's like sometimes you can get an aisle where there's not somebody like right on your ass. You're like, oh, hold on, I'm just trying to get this jelly. I don't know which one.
I'm in the grocery store, then I don't care because I just want to get in and out as quickly as possible. So I'm like, if I can't find the thing after 5 seconds, I'm like, excuse me. Where is this?
Oh, I hate asking people for stuff.
I don't care. Like, I have no shame in that sense. I like just give me the thing I want, and I can't be doing that because, as previously mentioned I can't remember how long ago it was when you was talking about on Pasta Gravy, which you should check out on Pasta Gravy Pod on Twitter and Instagram. Mm-hmm. I can't remember how long ago it was, but Pat was discussing how, due to social etiquettes, that you should get like each year, maybe you should get like 5 free. If someone does this, you can punch them in the face cards without getting in trouble.
Oh yeah.
We have a lot of like those people who like, because the aisles at my local grocery store are very well spaced out, where you can easily two people can go.
Yeah.
Oh, but there will every now and again there'll be like this 85-year-old woman just coasting in the middle, and then she stops and it's, oh my god, fuck's sake, just die already, Jesus Christ. That's not mean, but you know what I mean. It's like,
well, but then also like if I'm looking for something, if I'm hovering trying to find like a specific type of soup or whatever, I'm trying to give an example. I don't know if I'm looking for my specific bar of soap and I can't find it, and somebody else is right behind me looking at the soaps too, and it's like, oh, I can back up and like let you get in and get your shit and get out. It's like just some people are just not aware at all, and it's like, come on, dude, you're holding this up. But like I get like sometimes you gotta wait for people to like get the stuff, but then there's people that are just in no hurry.
Yeah, I remember getting stuck behind a couple who was like discussing their options, where they were like, one would pull down something. What about this one? Should we get this one? And then the husband would like, no, what about this one? Oh, and oh my, geez, pick one.
Yeah, that's a pain. Do you have like the personal shoppers? Like we have, like one of the reasons I don't ask people for stuff is they have like the stock people. They have like the just regular people that you can ask for stuff, and then they have like the personal shoppers that are on the apps that then pick up, like they like you can order through the grocery store and they'll deliver your food or come out and bring it to you when you get there. But they always have these big ass carts that they're like maneuvering around,
filling like 10 orders at one time, and it's like,
yeah. And so sometimes you get stuck between those people and then somebody else with a cart, and it's just like, fuck, man.
Have you ever just like abandoned? Just, I'm going home. I'm going to try this another day.
I feel like I have. I can't remember an exact time, but I probably have. Over all my years, just been like, fuck it, we're not doing this.
But yeah, so that, ladies and gentlemen, is our West Ham wrap up. That was a good.
Dude, we're fucking just happy, and we're just vibing.
Just vibing.
Excuse us being happy.
Whatever. Let's talk about, because I'm sure you're going to talk about West Ham on Pasta Gravy tomorrow.
A little bit. I mean, we did when we became a West Ham podcast. And many moons ago, when I decided that was my team, live on the podcast, we said I vowed to bring West Ham a championship. So like, I'm obviously going to talk about like delivering on promises. Promises is an early comeback kid this week, but yeah, we'll talk about it just a little bit. Probably not to the extent about like the goal or anything like that, but I don't know. Pat was there. I got to watch it with Pat from Pasta Gravy, so So yeah, he'll get to talk about his experience at his first ever West Ham
I mean, I don't want to
watch
spoil
game
anything.
party.
Did he was he happy? Did he enjoy himself?
Yeah, he did. He did. I mean, he doesn't appreciate it as much as I do, or a lot of other people there, but
I feel because he's a sports guy. He's a big
so he got
guy.
it. He was good at
So
buying
I feel
into everything.
if he was like, okay, my job is support West Ham. The fact that West Ham won, I feel he would have got into that.
I brought him a scarf, so he wore a scarf the whole time. It was a good luck scarf. It ended up being.
Now every single time.
Yeah. He has to. Every championship we're in from now on, at least.
That's the law. That's the law. What else? What else have you got coming up on Pasta Gravy tomorrow?
We're gonna talk about this baby Gronk kid that's been all over the internet and his weird dad. And then we're also gonna talk about Father's Day. Speaking of dads, Denver, why it's so hot right now. And then ways to stay cool this summer, since everybody on the news here is talking about the same 5 ways you can stay cool. Did you know that the air conditioning is colder than outside when it's hot? Like,
To be, I haven't seen the data behind it, but it sounds like
try wearing a hat if you'll be in the sun for a prolonged period of time. It's always like those news stories. Like, what the fuck, guys? Like, did a 5-year-old come up with these? But they're like, well, coming up next, we'll tell you how to stay cool this summer, how to beat the heat. Beat the heat. We'll beat the heat.
Spoiler alert, it's the same 5 things we said last year.
Don't forget to stay hydrated.
Do you know what?
Sunscreen.
I wish, we
I'm doing a
well
whole bit.
aware-
We're going to do the show again, Alex.
we're well
So
aware
just
that
get ready for
the planet that we reside on is getting very overpopulated. So do you know what? I think just 1 year they should make up like an agreement. Bless you. That
Thank you.
that they just stop saying that. Just stop reminding people to stay hydrated and to see the morons that just drop down.
Right?
Natural selection.
I think they should. They should
think it'd be
definitely
fun.
do that.
Waffle Box new episode comes out tomorrow. We're talking conspiracy theories because in my neck of the woods, over in the northeast, there's a lot of cool conspiracy theories coming around since the Canadian. We had a lot of smoke last week.
Yeah.
Oof. Apparently, word on social media is way more to that than meets the eye. Ooh, and then a tiny section of a highway in Pennsylvania collapsed. Way more to that. That's control. It's method control. So we're going to talk about fun conspiracy theories. We're also talking about the male of the species. Days may be numbered as there are females of other species that are apparently impregnating themselves. So,
so we've been worried about.
So we might be on our way out, fellas. So we discussed that. Plus more. I mean, talk about a movie. The movie review this week. I don't know if you've seen this. This is a movie that I thought was going to be complete garbage, but turns out to be a really fucking good movie. And you should check out the movie review on this week's report. Have you seen Flaming Hot?
Flaming Hot, I have not seen that.
I said this in the pod, but forgive me for thinking that a movie starring no one I've ever heard of about the story of how they made flaming Cheetos and it goes straight to Hulu rather than going to. I thought this is going to be so bad.
It does seem like it would be.
It's a really good movie. So
okay.
That's a spoiler alert, so it gets a good review, but that's what we're going to be talking about in depth on
Let's hear
why.
Plus,
much more. So go to Wafflebox Pod on social medias, enjoywafflebox.com, and Pass the Gravy Pod. I always say Pass the Gravy Pod on social. Is your website passthegravypod.com?
Passthegravypod.com, yeah. We try to make it as easy to distinguish as possible.
I didn't do that. I just thought enjoywafflebox.com sounds funnier. But
that sounds good. It does sound good.
I did at one point thinking about doing like a URL whatsawafflebox.com, but
That would also
I'm
be
too
good.
far
I like that.
too far deep. So check that out. Yeah, so a little bit of I guess what's the word I'm trying to think of? Anyway, just news, I guess. Whatever. So obviously this is the last episode of Claret and Big Blue for this series, since over the next couple of weeks there is literally nothing going to be happening. There's no West Ham games, no New York Giants games. And we are, no offense to the other podcasts, because Alex might be appearing.
Right.
Not going to knock it, but we are not the type of podcast, personally, not because there's anything wrong with it, just because it's not our vibe. Just to talk about, did you see Kayvon Thibodeau's got a slightly new haircut this week? To discuss that for an hour.
Yeah, we're an in-season podcast. No, there's
We're an
anything wrong
in-season
with that.
podcast.
We're hopping back on. I don't have a date exactly, but like right before. Okay,
There we
you
go.
Tuesday,
These balls
August 1st.
start-
See,
We're back Tuesday, August 1st, where we'll be talking about the upcoming Premier League game, whoever that's against for West Ham, the opening day of the season.
fuck, it's so
obviously,
quick. It's such a quick turnaround, isn't it?
It is because of the World Cup? We had the World Cup. This has been a whirlwind year. We had the World Cup in December, so F got pushed back, and then we got to a European final. So
That's true. We did play a lot of extra.
I think we're probably. I'd have to go back, and I don't care to, but I think we're probably a month further in than we normally would be. But whatever. I'm not hating it. Obviously, unless something crazy happens, like West Ham
emergency episodes
is
or whatever,
purchased by some Saudi person, or some crazy guy signs for West Ham or whatever. We might do an impromptu show. Maybe if something crazy happens, but
if something crazy with Declan Rice happens, maybe.
Like he announces, if he goes full Wolf of Wall Street,
he announces on here.
Announces like, I'm not leaving.
He announces
he wants to do it live on
Claret Big Blue specifically. He's like, that's my favorite American-based West Ham, but also New York Giants podcast. Mates.
I mean,
why wouldn't he pick us?
The good thing about being probably the only podcast on the internet dedicated to the New York Giants and West Ham is that it's a pretty safe bet that we are Declan Rice's favorite New York Giants West Ham podcast.
If he had one, I would say we would be a top
one
couple, at least.
I mean, I must admit, I've never done the research, but I can't admit it's.
I don't want to do the research. I don't want to have to I don't want to have to correct our stat if we say it.
And then I have to work out a new intro that I've been doing.
Right? Yeah. See, that's our whole shtick we're doing.
But yeah, so unless anything happens, we'll be back on August 1st to talk about hopefully a nice successful transfer window for West Ham, and then preview teams. Hopefully, isn't against Man City again. Like, it would be nice to actually look towards a first game of the season where we might actually win that game.
Well, I mean, that would be kind of what is it? The UEFA, the Europa League plays the Champions League winners. That would basically be
the Super Cup.
Right. So that would basically be the Super Duper Cup, if that was what it was, because like we're the most massive teams in the Premier League since we both have European trophies. So like it would actually be very fitting to open up the season against Man City this year.
They should switch up the rules, because they do a preseason game called the Community Shield, which is that all the money goes to charity, local causes, and it's the Premier League winner versus the FA Cup winner, which obviously at this point would be Man City versus Man City. No, because Man City won the FA Cup and the Premier League.
So it'd be second place. It'd be Arsenal.
It'd be Man City versus Arsenal. But yeah, that would be fun if they just said, you know what? No, we'll pit the two European winners this year, West Ham versus Man City, for the preseason game. That'd be nice.
Most massive teams there are. It's just facts.
Keep your big six Premier League, because there's the big six and then there's the massive one.
Yeah.
Boom. Suck that. Right. I'm off to, I guess, download this and manually upload it to YouTube like a fucking moron, because I forgot.
So enjoy it. You're gonna love it.
But yes, check us out. Follow us at Only Mike Fish, at Alex J. Middleton. We'll be back in 6 weeks. Obviously, don't forget, if you do miss our voices, our dulcet tones, make sure you listen or watch Past the Gravy and Waffle Box on Wednesdays. But until next time, do not forget.
Seahorses forever.
And we will see you in 6 Tuesdays' time. Bye.
Hey, let's go to Peyton. He's going to break down that touchdown. Can't hear shit. Never mind.